Hello and welcome to my podcast. We are on our third episode. Can you believe it? We made it to number 3. I'm your host, Daniella, founder of Mejor Amiga. I totally did not do that last time, but as our first episode, we talked about progress over perfection. I am literally learning how to do this whole podcast host bit or gig. I don't know, it's not really a bit. I do love a good bit though. Anyways, we are in the week of Valentine's Day. So I feel like it is only obvious that we hit the topic of love. And it is also a full moon today. So I'm going to challenge you to think of love in a different way than you've never probably thought to. Love can be such a interesting topic, a heavy topic. It can feel like sometimes we don't have enough of it or we give too much of it. And there's just so many things that have to do with love, right? So much of the work I do with astrology always comes back to love, because love of self and how we show up for ourselves ultimately leaks into how we interact with the world around us. And a lot of it comes down to our early childhood examples of love and things like that. And I feel like it's pretty natural for everyone to be okay with admitting that we weren't always loved in the way that we needed to be loved. I feel like that's something that everyone struggles with, even now as an adult, because we all have to take time to figure out who we are and how we work and what we like and what we don't like. And unfortunately, so many of our adult relationships, if we are not cognizant of our actions and in our bodies and feeling our feelings, as silly as all that might sound sometimes, as just like weird psychobabble, it's all very true, because if we are not really taking charge of our lives, we just continue to mirror our relationship that we had with our siblings or our parents or our close family members. We're always just self-soothing in a way, and it's like some of that can be tied to like always being in a drama-filled relationship, or even if we seem to have healthy relationships outside of ourselves, the relationship within ourselves can be volatile or still unhealthy, that they mirror the wounds that we got from our childhood. And I went through just a really deep time wanting to understand love. I feel like I came into this world very much a fighter and very strong, but I had to learn how to be soft and how to love and how to be kind. I feel like in general, I've always had a big heart, but that wasn't always for the right things, because oftentimes people think that, because they're helpful, then they're a good person. But when you dive deeper into love and truly understanding love and expectations and care and all of those things, you begin to realize that, that actually wasn't love that I was giving. That was control that I was doing in the guise of being helpful and things like that. So it's really just interesting to dive into these things. And I have a couple books that I read when I was going through that journey of my life and learning how to love and how to just be a better person. One of them is All About Love by Bell Hooks. She is a feminist, and I believe that she has the closest gauge to what I view feminism as, because I do not view feminism in the same token as mainstream feminism. That's a whole nother topic for another day. So if you want to understand, I would definitely get that book, and I'm definitely going to share links in the description, or you can go to my Instagram for those links. But yeah, definitely bell hooks, and then also The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. That was also just, when I read that book, I was like, oh my gosh, this is spot on, because it just felt like totally seen in what I read with that book, and I want to share a little bit with you so we can kind of think on it and just really open ourselves up to love and all of the things that come with it, since this Friday is Valentine's Day, but also because today is a full moon, and it's gonna allow us, with full moons you always release things that no longer serve you. And I think that so many of us would be benefited greatly if we began the process of releasing our notions of what love is, and make room for new ways to love and new ways to accept love and to express love. So this is an excerpt from The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, or Don Miguel Ruiz. In order to understand these emotions, we can describe certain characteristics about love and fear that I call the love track and the fear track. These two tracks are merely points of reference to see how we are living our lives. These divisions are for the logical mind to understand and try to have some control of the choices we make. Let's look at some characteristics of love and of fear. Love has no obligations. Fear is full of obligations. In the track of fear, whatever we do is because we have to do it, and we expect other people to do something because they have to do it. We have the obligation, and as soon as we have to, we resist it. The more resistance we have, the more we suffer. Sooner or later, we have to try and escape our obligations. On the other hand, love has no resistance. Whatever we do is because we want to do it. It becomes a pleasure. It's like a game, and we have fun with it. Love has no expectations. Fear is full of expectations. With fear, we do things because we expect that we have to, and we expect that others are going to do the same. That is why fear hurts and love doesn't. We expect something, and if it doesn't happen, we feel hurt. It isn't fair. We blame others for not fulfilling our expectations. When we love, we don't have expectations. We do it because we want to. And if other people do it or not, it's because they want to or not, and it's nothing personal. When we don't expect something to happen, if nothing happens, it's not important. Next page. We don't feel hurt because whatever happens is okay. That is why hardly anything hurts us when we are in love. We aren't expecting that our lover will do something. We have no obligation. Love is based in respect. Fear doesn't respect anything, including itself. And I feel like that really points to the confusion that a lot of us have, because a lot of us will think that we give or we love and we expect nothing in return, and we call it love, but is it really? There's other factors that are going on there that we have to think about, because it can be more from a fear thing of, oh, I need to keep this person close to me because they make me feel good. And, it's more of a selfish thing than it is a selfless thing. It is based on expectation, and there's more fear there because you need those dopamine hits. It's not just free as it is. Oh, that's fine if that's not returned back to me, because you understand that love is abundant and love is not scarce, which a lot of our messaging all around society is the scarcity of literally everything. So it's like people get in a fear-based sense without realizing that it's taken them off the track of love, and they aren't flowing in that. One of my favorite quotes from Rumi is, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." And I think that we all have these barriers, just like because we're so blind to it, because a lot of us have not done a deep dive into what love truly is and what care is, what are the differences in all of these things. So we don't even know where to begin to even start to dissect these things. We think that love is empty or that relationships suck or things like that, right? There can be such a negative view, but it's oh wait, if we really dive in, we can start to see but I don't really know what love should feel like. I don't really know how to express love. I know how to express control guised as helpfulness or as care. You can care for someone but not love them. You can care deeply about someone but not truly love them. You can care for someone and not even like them. There's just so many true layers to everything. And I think that it's just so important to look at how you want to be loved and what makes you feel loved, and then start to create more of that for yourself. It's not always going to be the same for everyone else, and that's again where it points to more of a control and fear thing, because we then only express love in a way that we know, because we know everything. And so of course I know how to love you because I know what's best for you, and that isn't love either. It's actually speaks to respecting and not actually respecting someone. Again, there's a whole chapter in the Mastery of Love about this, and it's just really powerful. I cannot recommend this book enough, because it just really dissects how you view love. And I know that we have talked about already, this is going to be kind of the third kind of heavy hitting topic. The first one was perfection, then the following up was starting slow and, pushing back to the flow of what we all know of new year, new me, and things like that, and just the pressure to be on, or, always pushing for more in life. And, we're just always so overbooked and scheduled and things like that. So for this to be now we're talking about love, and love can be such a heavy topic. There's people that are, we find ways to push away love, especially with Valentine's Day. We write it off as, oh, that's just a Hallmark holiday, that's just stupid and things like that. But it's okay to have fun, and with these subjects that I've gone over, I feel like it can be kind of overwhelming. Where do I even start? And I think that's why I just love looking at birth charts so much, because it does give us a framework to break things down. Because going back to it, your birth chart is a wheel, and each one is 12 houses. So it's every year is your theme, Or even if you don't want to do like an annual perfection, just looking at your birth chart and understanding like where your childhood is, and also like your Venus, what house your Venus is in, like, which is like love. Venus is love and relationships. So it is such a good way to like look at things when it is just too overwhelming, because sometimes we don't even know where to start to have our slow start, you know? And so it's just like astrology is such a great tool for that. The moon cycle is such a great tool for beginning processes. Like, just because today is the full moon and we release things doesn't mean that like you have to release it and then you're like, it's released, it's gone. Like, you're never going to deal with this topic again. No, it doesn't work like that. It's a beginning to release. Maybe it's something that you can release very easily, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's something that takes more time to be released. And that's totally okay, because you have to start somewhere, and the intention of beginning and using like a full moon release, like journaling or thinking about how you want to do a new goal to shed a habit, like you're not going to just boom, it's over with and done. No, it's like the beginning of the release. And who knows, maybe next full moon you'll have to release it again, or you'll realize that there's a new part that you're releasing. So like, let's just say like you're releasing the way that you currently love. Like, that you do harmful practices in love. Like, you know that you are not true to yourself in how you express love or how you accept love, and you're like, I'm going to change that because I want to authentically show up for myself. I want to receive the love I deserve. You're not going to like magically, and I feel like that's what every astrologist tries to sell you, what every like motivational speaker or coach or people out there, like, they want you to think that it's like this super fast thing. And then when you don't get there, it makes you feel terrible. But then also it's like, then you're like, oh, I need to buy more from them, or I need to do something, because like they understand it, and if I can just do something like them more, then I'll get it. And it's just not like, I don't believe like that at all. So that's why I'm just like really clear with like, it's the beginning of a process, and you won't know you have to start releasing somewhere. And as you go through the process of releasing, then a new way is shown to you of something new that you have to unlock to release or to grow. But you'll never get there if you don't like start. And so that's why I just want to be really encouraging that as we think about Valentine's Day this week, as we think about love, how we love those around us, how we love ourselves, it's a beautiful time to release the love that's hurt us, to release the love that did not align with what we truly needed, the love that we thought we gave, but maybe we really didn't give that as purely as we thought. Just totally let go of what our notions of what love are, and make room for new love and new patterns of thinking when it comes to love, new patterns of love in general, and how we express it. Thank you for tuning in this week. This is a hefty topic because so many feelings come up about love when it comes to friendships. And are you going to a Valentine's Day party with your girlfriends? Is my partner going to do something? Is my husband, is my fiance, is my boyfriend, or, all of those things. Like, there can be so many feelings of like messaging of lack that I think that just, this little podcast, we can just kind of throw a dart, if you will, an arrow, a Cupid's arrow at some of these things and be like, nope, we can look inward and we can adjust that. We can see that maybe, the messaging of what we learned through movies and isn't like the end all be all of love, and we get to recreate and rewrite how we want to feel loved and see love in our lives. So I hope you have a beautiful week. I hope you have a beautiful full moon. I hope you have a beautiful holiday if you choose to participate in it. I look forward to talking to you next week, and I just appreciate all the feedback and all of the love that you all have been showing me since we've been doing this. It'll be a month. It is a month today that we have been getting Mejor Amiga back on track, and I am just so excited to continue to grow with you all. And I truly hope, like I've said on every episode so far, I hope that this is inspiring you to be bad at something, because I am not great at this. I hope that it's inspiring you to try different things, that my willingness to put myself out there is inspiring you to do that with your life, and these things are planting seeds of hope and encouraging you that you can really take charge of this year however you want. And we are still in our winter phase. We are not at spring yet, but it's coming up soon. So no rush, no pressure. You are right where you need to be, and talk to you next week. Bye.